Hello, this is Andrew with AustralianExpatLoans.com.au, and in this short presentation I'd like to cover the importance of a pre-approval and why it is so important when you're looking to buy property in Australia, and also how to get finance approved as an Australian expat or a foreign investor. I'd like to share with you some of the extra documentation information that lenders in Australia require for you to be approved, and let's get started on that right away. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people that have bought a property and do not have any finance approval in place at all. So they're basically going to start the finance process at the point of buying the property, which is not the best position to be in. It can be done, but it does put you in a situation where you will have to continuously negotiate with the real estate agent, and obviously you do not want to cool off and put yourself in a settlement phase in case you don't get the finance, and then you're liable for 10% of the purchase price. So I'm going to share with you the best case scenario, the best way to do things, and that is once you've done your research and your budgeting and so forth, is get a pre-approval in place. Again, I just want to share some quick tips. I don't want this video obviously to go too long, so I just want to be able to share some very quick differences and tips for an overseas person looking to obtain finance in Australia. Identification is obviously a bit of an issue because you're not able to be identified face-to-face through either a mortgage broker or via the bank directly. Easy way to overcome that is that most lenders will allow you to get your identification certified, and you can either do that by going to an Australian consulate and taking your original passport and a copy there and getting that certified, or lenders will also provide you with a checklist. If they are used to dealing with overseas borrowers, they will have a criteria of either getting your identification certified through a bank teller equivalent, magistrate, judge, or a police officer, and they'll give you a list and provide you that. Very easy to overcome it that way, but again, just need to make sure you get all that in place. And this is what I meant earlier, that there can be some delays because you need to do a little bit extra running around. Income, just want to be able to share with you that, I've said this earlier, that your income can be discounted down to 75% because conversion will come into place. If you'd like to know, most banks will use www.xe.com as the currency conversions. So if you go to that website, makes it very easy for you to get an idea to convert your income back into Australian dollars and see what they will use as an income. And I've got here your history. Just to let you know, most lenders will look at a 3-year history. So it doesn't matter if you've been in your current employment for the last 3 or 4 months only, when there's no probation period, say, although some lenders will also arrange finance if you are in probation period. But the thing is that if you've got an overall 3-year history, they will look very favourable upon you. But if you've worked for 2 years and you've travelled for a year and now you've just gone back to work for the last few months, that's not going to look so good. Doesn't mean you can't get finance, but it's not going to be high in the credit score. So generally speaking, most lenders like a 3-year history. Deposit. Now, with the deposit, I've put here genuine savings. The definition of genuine savings for most lenders is that they would like to see a 3 months history of your bank accounts. And with seeing those savings, they would like to see that the purchase price that you are considering, you have around 5% of genuine savings. Now, that applies if your deposit is less than 20%. So some lenders, as an Australian expat, will give you a loan as little as with a 5% deposit, but you will need to show 3 months of bank statements of seeing a steady rise of your savings, and that the balance represents 5% of that purchase price. Now, genuine savings can be proved in other ways as well. If you've got the equivalent sitting in a shareholdings, that will qualify you as genuine savings. And likewise, if you have a term deposit, that will qualify you as well. So there's different means as how you can be assessed as having genuine savings by a bank in order to qualify for deposits of less than 20%. Expenses. I've just put in your credit cards because a lot of people forget that when they have a number of credit cards, and say that you've got 3 credit cards and each one is, $10,000 limit, obviously you've got a limit there of $30,000. Even if you haven't used those cards for the last few months and there's zero sitting there, some lenders will still assess the loan as if you have drawn down the entire $30,000 because you can, and will apply an amount of repayments per month to that credit card, which will diminish your borrowing capacity. So sometimes when we look at a lender, we just basically make sure that if we are short on the borrowing capacity, it could just be something as simple as having to eliminate a credit card in order to make it work. Something to bear in mind. Rental income, of course, we can look at rental income for the property, but again, most lenders will only use 75 to 80% of that income to account for vacancy, property management expenses, and so forth. So we won't be able to use the full amount. And lastly, actually, before I go into that, just going back to the income, one of the differences too, just to get ready for when you do apply for finance, is that besides seeing pay slips, if you are an overseas person, more than likely the lender will ask for 3 months of bank statements showing your income going in. So you may want to get that ready as well. And on that, just bear in mind they will not accept internet printouts only of your bank statements because usually they won't contain your name. So you can use internet printouts of your bank statements as long as you provide to the lender one original statement that shows the financial institution, your name, your account number, so they can match up the internet printouts to that. So payslips or a letter of employment plus 3 months worth of banking statements showing your income should do it. Okay, so just going back to the last point there, apply the highest amount. When you're looking for the purchase price that you're sort of considering, I would really say apply at your highest amount where your maximum lies. It is easy to work backwards with a lender than applying, say, for a purchase price of $600,000 with, say, a $500,000 home loan. Then you find a property that's worth $650,000, which you can afford, and then going back to the lender asking for more money. It just puts you back in front of the queue and could again delay the process by a few weeks. So apply the highest amount, and it's easy to work backwards by simply sending them an email or a fax saying that this is the purchase price. Yes, we applied at, say, for example, $650. We are buying at $600 and need a smaller amount. It will be done immediately and very quickly. So what's the next step from here? Well, you can pretty much do everything yourself. There is plenty of information on the internet that you can research via Google, take the information or the different websites I've spoken about in this presentation, and you can do all that. Or if you like, you can also engage our service, AustralianExpatLoans.com.au, and we can manage the entire purchase project for you. You can always call us or you can contact us online. Also, if you want some more information, we have a free report series. It is about how to get finance quickly and easily. And it also has a second part of the report, which many people have got some great feedback about, and that's on how to structure your finances correctly. There's a lot of information on that, which is very focused on expats, and we show you some really good way of structuring your finance to ensure that you save thousands along the way as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or would like to provide some feedback, you can reach me at andrew@australianexpatloans.com.au, or feel free to give me a call. I'd love to chat. All the best. Thank you.